Many children and partners of narcissistic people yearn for an apology from them. But are their apologies genuine, considering they often do the same act shortly after apologizing? And what about deathbed apologies? In this video, we will explore what makes an apology, how a narcissist sees an apology, and the pros and cons of both going to and staying away from a narcissistic person in their last moments. Hello wonderful person and welcome to Narcissistic Abuse Healing. I'm Anton and I create videos about narcissistic abuse to help you understand what was done to you and help you heal from it. Please help this channel grow by subscribing. If you find this video informative or helpful in any way, please let me and YouTube know by liking and sharing it. Feel free to share your experience in the comment section as well as topics you would like me to cover. What is an apology? An apology is an expression of regret or remorse for actions done or words spoken and have 7 key parts to it. Depending on the situation, all or some of the parts will be required. However, at a minimum, without expressing regret or remorse for their actions and accepting a responsibility, the apology is not genuine. An expression of remorse. There needs to be an expression of remorse for what they did to you. Often, this is done by saying sorry while showing emotions of regret. Without regret or remorse, the apology is not true, but manipulation to get you to forgive them while they don't have to admit they were wrong or change their behavior. Just because a person says they are sorry does not mean they feel guilty for what they did. Without guilt, there is no regret for their actions. The person may feel shame where they think you think badly of them because of their actions and want forgiveness to restore their image, but it does not mean they feel what they did was wrong or that they care that they hurt you. Without remorse, saying sorry is just a way to restore their image. If a person feels little or no shame, they will rarely, if ever, apologize, for they have no guilt as they believe they did nothing wrong, and they feel no shame as they do not care what people think about them. The covert shameless narcissist will often erupt in tears and act the victim, whereas the overt shameless narcissist will often explode in anger when you demand an apology. Acknowledge their actions and your pain. The person needs to acknowledge what they did wrong and how it affected you. If they don't know what they did wrong, they cannot regret doing it. This could be, I'm sorry I yelled at you and scared you or made you cry. Or, I'm sorry I called you lazy and useless, which hurt you. If there is any blame shifting, projection, triangulation, gaslighting, or so on, then it's a false apology. When the person tries to excuse or justify their behavior, they do not truly believe they were wrong and thus have no remorse for their actions. This could be them saying, I'm sorry you don't see my joke as funny. Or, I'm sorry you are so sensitive. Or, I'm sorry I yelled at you, but you pushed my buttons. If a narcissist says, I'm sorry, and you ask, for what? They may respond with, for upsetting you. If you then ask, what did you do wrong that upset me? They may struggle to answer you. Taking responsibility. The person needs to take full responsibility for their actions. If they shift blame, then they are not sorry for their actions, for how can you have remorse for something you did if you believe it was not your fault or you were not wrong in doing it? This part is often a problem for narcissistic people, as admitting they were wrong is a talent they lack. It can be as simple as, I'm sorry, I was wrong to yell at you. I see how it upset you. If they try to minimize their role, shift blame, minimize how it affected you, or try in another way to shift responsibility, then it is not a true apology. Such as saying, I'm sorry I yelled at you, but work stresses me out. Or, I'm sorry I upset you a little. Without accepting full responsibility, it is just a manipulation and guilt-tripping charade to evade consequences for their actions or to make them feel better about themselves. Narcissists think that if you were really as badly hurt as you said you were, you would not forgive him, for that is how they would have responded, never forgive you. Thus, forgiveness to a narcissist often means you are saying it was not that bad. Thus, they feel they don't need to do anything to make things right and are often shocked or angered when you expect they do something to make things right, or that they must change their behavior after you forgave them. An explanation. There should be an explanation for their behavior without shifting blame. An explanation helps you understand the reasons for why they acted the way they did and gives you some assurance it will not happen again. When we act, we have a reason for why we act. If we later have remorse for our actions, It could be that we realized our reason for acting was not justified, that our actions were wrong given our reason, or that the information we had was wrong. Even though our actions for the reason we thought we had would have been right, we should have made sure our information was right. However, as the narcissist loves to be mysterious and never be consistent, lest you figure them out, as well as many times their reason for hurting you is to make them feel better, they often give you the blame as a reason for their actions. A true explanation could be, work stressed me out, but I had no right to take it out on you. If they shift blame such as saying, work stressed me out and then you did not have dinner ready, or and then you kept nagging me, the apology is false, for they are justifying their actions. When they justify their actions, they do not have remorse for their actions, but feel they were right in doing what they did. They may feel sorry that you do not see things their way, but they still think they were right. And if their justification is an action you did, they are justifying hurting you by saying you deserved it. An offer to make things right. When we truly feel remorse for our actions, we naturally feel indebted to the other person and want to make it right with them. Thus, there should be an offer to make things right that is on your terms. If there is no offer to make things right, then the person does not truly feel they did anything wrong. They should also not set a price, because then it is not remorse but the manipulation bribe where they are saying, okay, you seem upset, I will give you this to keep you quiet or get you to let the issue go. Thus, the person should normally ask in the line of, how can I make it right with you? Or, what can I do to make it right? Often, the narcissist will keep score of what you want or promise you things and then never deliver. When they see they messed up, they quickly offer you one of those things they know you want. You then feel they must truly be sorry, for you have been asking for so long for this item or holiday, and now they are giving it to you. All the while they kept it as an ace in their pocket to use at the right moment. If the apology is true and you ask for something else that is within reason, the person should have no problem agreeing to your request. If they refuse or respond with, I said sorry, what more do you want? Then the apology is false. So too, if they demand you immediately stop crying, talk to them, or go on with your life as if nothing happened the moment they said sorry. Change their behavior. There should be an offer to change their behavior. For if they truly feel remorse for what they did, then they should not want to do it again. And if a situation resulted in them doing something they regret, then they should change their behavior, but if the situation arises again, they will not do the same behavior that they know hurt you. If there is no offer to change, or they require that you change, or require that you do something before they change, then it is just manipulation and them trying to escape responsibility. For they can later then blame you for them not changing because either you did not change or did not support them enough to change. Them changing is not your responsibility, nor can you make them change or not change. The offer can be as simple as, I will talk to my boss tomorrow to lessen my stress and make an appointment for anger management classes tonight. If the actions are not taken on the dates or times given, then they may not be as remorseful and as keen to change as they make out to be. Also, if they promise to change but give no exact date or exact plans, but just a vague, I will do better or I will not do it again, then there's no real drive to change, which points to no real remorse that compels them to change. Thus, the apology is fake. Request for forgiveness. There's also normally a request for forgiveness. For if you truly have regret for hurting someone else, then you will feel bad. And for you to feel better, you will want to know the other person has forgiven you and that you have made things right with them. The need for forgiveness comes from two parts, shame and guilt. Guilt is when you feel an action of yours was wrong. And shame is when you as a person feel you are wrong. With shame, you feel people think badly of you as a person in totality. With guilt, you may not think people think badly of you, but you think an action you did was wrong according to your standards. To let go of the guilt, you will need to forgive yourself. To let go of shame, you often need to know the other person has forgiven you and does not think badly of you, or you need to justify your actions. As mentioned before, narcissists rarely have guilt as they do not think what they did was wrong. If they have shame where their image is important to them, then they will ask, or sometimes even demand you say you forgive them, even if they only said sorry to you without making it right. If their insecurity is high, they may not be able to admit that they are wrong and accept blame, and may demand you apologize to them for making them do what they did. If they have no shame, they often will not bother to apologize and thus will not seek your forgiveness. For an apology to be true, there needs to be no demands, guilt-tripping, threats, or dismissal to manipulate you into forgiving them. How a narcissist sees an apology. Have you ever tried to tell a story or explain something and another person cuts you off by correcting you on a minor point that you see as irrelevant or inconsequential to your story? They may point out you had the day wrong, or the place wrong, or the color of a car wrong. Have you then responded with, "Sorry, okay, it was Wednesday," or "the car was red, not blue," and then carried on with your story? Although you said sorry, you had no real remorse for having that minor detail wrong and may feel irritated with a person interrupting your brilliant story by correcting you over something so trivial. You only said sorry to keep the other person quiet so you can continue telling your story. Well, that is how narcissists sees an apology, just a way to keep you quiet so they can keep doing what they are doing. If you are in a relationship, things may improve for a bit, but then the narcissist falls back into old habits. Clearly, they are not sorry enough to want to change. You will have to decide if you want to continue interacting with a person, knowing they willfully hurt you and lie about being sorry. What about deathbed apologies? Unfortunately, when it comes to narcissists, most deathbed apologies are fake. It is just a self-serving stunt for the narcissist to show how great they are and to ease their own conscience and protect their image. The person had their whole life to say sorry and make things right with you and change. Yet they dare to expect full forgiveness without needing to make things right nor change their behavior just because they said, "I am sorry." And they use your guilt and shame to manipulate you into forgiving them, for who would ever be so evil as to deny a dying person's last wish? Forgiveness is a gift you give to another person, not something that they can demand or expect from you. Expecting one at a deathbed puts the responsibility to make things right on you, instead of a person who hurt you where it rightfully belongs. Narcissists who value their image will often demand forgiveness from you as they fear you will expose their deeds when they are gone. They think that if you forgave them, then you will not expose them, or people will say, "But you forgave them. How can you still talk about it?" True deathbed apologies often only happen when the person realized their mistakes long before and did not have contact with you to express their remorse. Should you go or stay? Many children of narcissistic parents struggle with a decision if they should attend a parent's last moments. There is no right or wrong answer. Each situation is different and ultimately you have to live with the consequences of your decision. However, here are some things to consider that may help you make a more informed decision. You are likely not to get an honest apology or even a fake apology from a person. They more often will use the opportunity to twist the knife in your heart one last time. Even if they do apologize, they may blame you for their actions or shift blame to someone else. This may make you feel worse, especially if you don't even get an apology but must forgive them, such as them saying, "Please forgive me," without even saying sorry. This may hinder your healing, as you may feel you have no right to talk about what they did to you or feel angry at them after you forgave them. Thus, you may not seek help and just push your feelings deep down where they will fester. Even though you may feel you need an apology and may even get one, you may later regret when you realize how you were manipulated and the person pulled one last con on you. Ultimately, going to the narcissist in their last moments is not about the narcissist. They are going to be gone soon. What you need to consider is how your choice will affect your relationship with the people who are left behind. If you do not care what others think of you if you do not go, or never want to see them again, then there may be little benefit in you going. If an apology was promised and you needed to move on, even if you know it may be a hollow apology, then you may benefit from going even if you will never have contact with the rest of the family again. If you want to see the other people again and fear they will treat you differently if you do not go, then maybe going is what you need to endure to keep the relationship with other people you care about. Just be careful, as a narcissist may try to use the opportunity to play with their old punching bag one last time. Write one yourself. If you need an apology from a person to be able to move forward in your life, but they are not giving you one, then consider writing an apology to yourself from yourself, acting as a person. Write as if they are giving you an apology and saying what you want to hear. It may not be the real thing, but putting the words on paper that you want to hear and reading them out may help. You can also consider writing a letter to the other person where you state exactly what they did and how they hurt you. It is best no one sees this letter. Express your anger and hatred to them in writing, read it out, then burn it. If you want, you can later write another letter where you forgive them so that you can let go. Do burn this one, as you do not want anyone to get a hold of it, especially the narcissist. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like and share it so that more people can benefit from it. If not subscribed, please subscribe now by clicking the seductive red button. As reward for subscribing, you will get more informative videos about narcissistic abuse. Please leave a comment, as it helps to expand the information covered in the video, which may be of benefit to others. Also check out my books on narcissism by following the links in the description. Thank you.